autoclaving ng mga different culture media natin, no? So usually sila naman ang ina-autoclave natin, no, in our laboratory, yung mga ating culture media, no? So may different method tayo kung paano natin sila ina-autoclave or yung decontamination process ng ating culture media. Okay, so when we say disinfection, no, is a process usually, no, is a process whereby yung mga organisms or yung mga spores of our microorganisms is dinedestroy siya, no, in terms of different methods. So meron tayong tinatawag na physical methods, no, meron tayong physical methods and yung mga different chemical methods. So part ng chemical methods natin, no, ng disinfection is yung tinatawag natin na paggamit ng mga alcohols, no, different aldehydes, and at the same times yung mga phenolic substance, yung may mga content ng quaternary ammonium compounds, no. So those are some few examples of yung mga chemical method of disinfection natin. And at the same time, no, meron tayong tinatawag na physical method of disinfection, no. So meron tayong one is yung tinatawag natin na boiling, wherein binoboil natin yung different substance na gusto natin disinfect, no? And para ma-kill yung mga bacteria or para ma-destroy yung mga spores ng different microorganisms. And at the same time, no, another is yung tinatawag natin na pasteurization. So during pasteurization process, no, usually this pasteurization process, no, as what I've mentioned last time, usually no, ginagawa ito siya sa mga food, no, to kill yung mga different pathogens na present in our food, no. So si pasteurization process natin. And we do have lots of decontamination or sterilization process, no. And usually, no, this there are lots of factors that influences yung mga activity of different disinfectants. No, meron tayong different types of microorganisms present. No, so those are some factors that can affect the activity of disinfectants natin. Yung mga temperature, pH, no, yung mga amount of microorganism present, no, concentration of disinfectant, no. So those are some few factors, no, that influence the activity of disinfectants, and at the same time yung amount of yung mga organic substances, no, no, such as yung mga blood natin, yung mga mucus, yung mga urine, no. So those are some few examples of yung mga tinatawag natin na ano tawag dito, organic substances, no? And at the same time, of course, yung nature ng ating disinfectant, no? Marami tayong different nature of disinfectant, no? And yung length of contact time ng disinfectant. There are some disinfectant na mamamatay agad yung microorganisms once na paglagay mo. There are some na it will take time, no, bago siya mamatay yung different microorganisms, no, or bago ma-destroy yung spores, no, microorganisms, no. Another use of disinfectants, no, usually, no, ginagamit natin siya through washing, no. One of the common na disinfectants, sorry. Why? Anong nangyari sa kanya? Is she sick? Bakit? May sakit siya? Okay. Noted. Ganun ba? Okay. Get well soon. Bawal magkasakit ngayon. Okay? So another method, no, usually ginagamitan natin ng disinfectant, no, as what I've mentioned nga, no, pinaka-common na disinfectant na ginagamit natin inside the laboratory is yung Zonrox, no, and at the same time yung Lysol na liquid, no. Yun yung mga pinaka-common na disinfectant na ginagamit natin inside the laboratory, which is usually, no, kailangan natin silang i-dilute prior natin sila gamitin, no. Usually, no, ginagamit natin before and after natin mag-work inside the laboratory, no, to disinfect yung mga benches and yung mga surfaces or yung mga working area natin, no. And usually sila din ginagamit natin to clean yung mga different equipment natin, like yung mga water bath, incubators, no, yung mga ano tawag dito, incubators natin, yung mga working surfaces natin, centrifuge, no, and refrigerators. No, another commonly used disinfectants, no, is yung tinatawag natin na yung mga alcohol in different grade, no? Like for example, ethyl, isopropyl, yung mga chlorine natin, or chlorine as hypochlorite solution, and yung mga iodine natin, no, ginagamit natin sila as disinfectant, no? And at the same time, yung mga different phenolenic disinfectants, no, such as yung mention ko nga kanina, yung Lysol natin, no? So those are some few disinfectants na ginagamit natin. I know, no, very familiar kayo with different disinfectants na ginagamit natin, especially ngayon, no, sa panahon ng pandemic, no, very useful siya sa atin. No, next is yung tinatawag natin na sterilization. So when say sterilization, it's a process wherein, no, all forms of microbial life, no, including yung mga spores, no, of microorganisms, no, usually is pinapatay siya, or kasama siya doon sa or pinapatay siya with the help of different methods. So meron tayong tinatawag na physical method of yung sterilization. So meron tayong different types. So meron tayong incineration. So I know very common yan sa inyong incineration. No, usually, no, this incineration method of sterilization, no, usually ginagamit ito siya na ginagamit natin in the laboratory. So usually, no, once na na-collect na yan siya as garbage, no, usually nag-undergo yan siya ng incineration. But then again, there are some companies that kino-collect nila yan, hindi nila ini-incinerate, but nilalagyan nila ng mga disinfectants, no? Sinusoak nila with process, no, sinusunog, no? Usually, it's between 87 degrees Celsius to 98 degrees Celsius siya. Yung heat, no, yung materials is sinusunog siya between 87 to 98 degrees Celsius. Next is yung tinatawag natin.
Ikaw na, teacher.
Ano yun? Wait. Ay, choppy ako. Ayan, okay na. Wala kasi ang aking internet connection. Wala ang aking wait. Ayan, okay na. Okay na, guys. Nawala pa lang aking camera. Okay na ang aking internet connection. Okay na, choppy pa rin. Slap. Choppy pa rin. Choppy pa rin. I choppy.
No, eh.
Kaibigan ko, unsa na mga gamit mo.
Choppy pa rin ako. Ayan, okay na. Hindi pa rin. So can we proceed now with our discussion? Just let me know kung choppy. Okay? Because I'm choppy. Okay, so next is yung ating tinatawag na ay! Oh, wait lang.
Labat imong ulo kay di kang baon tarong. May asa ko pang sukulin. Wala na yung guys.
Ayan, we're back. Okay, so next is, just let me know kung choppy pa rin ako. Okay? So next is yung tinatawag natin na sterilization. Sabi ko nga kanina, meron tayong different methods of sterilization. First is yung tinatawag natin na incineration, wherein no, sinusunog natin yung mga materials, no, or binaburn natin to ashes, no. And at the same time, no, between yung 87 degrees Celsius to 98 degrees Celsius na temperature. Next is yung tinatawag natin na moist heat or yung steam under pressure na tinatawag natin, no. Usually ito sila, no, ginagamit, no, and very common ito yung principle na ginagamit with our autoclave, no? Yung steam under pressure, no? Or ginagamitan siya ng moist heat, no? Usually, common itong ginagamit with the biohazardous trash natin, no? Especially sa laboratory. And usually, no, autoclave is one of the best example dito after yung ating moist heat, no, steam under pressure. Next is yung tinatawag natin na dry heat, no. Usually dry heat, no, ginagamit natin to sterilize yung mga different items or different glasswares inside the laboratory, no. And usually, no, ito sila is in-expose between yung temperature natin na 160 to 180 degrees Celsius, no, for 1.5 to 3 hours, no. Next is meron tayong another is filtration. No, usually filtration, no, usually ginagamit dito, very common sa atin, no. But then again, this filtration is usually ginagamit siya with chemicals, no. Yung mga vaccines, no, ito yung ginagamit nila, no. And usually yung mga carbohydrates na yung mga substances or yung mga media na merong mga carbohydrates na present, no. There are some carbohydrates wherein very sensitive sila sa heat. That's why usually ito yung ginagamit natin for disinfection or sterilization para hindi masira yung content ng carbohydrate, para hindi siya ma-break down yung carbohydrates or yung sugar na present doon in a certain substance. No? That's why very common ito siyang ginagamit, no, in some antibiotic solutions and at the same time in some vaccines and those substances na merong content ng carbohydrates. Okay? Ano pa ba? So usually, no, as what I've mentioned nga kanina, no, si autoclave natin is under siya ng ating dry heat moist heat wherein gumagamit siya ng steam under pressure si autoclave natin, which is yan yung ating activity for this afternoon, no. So steam heat autoclave, no, usually sila yung nag-utilize for yung tinatawag natin na sterilization. So usually, no, autoclave, no, is very common dito siya in the laboratory. So later on, no, I'll be showing you kung paano siya gagawin or paano siyang ino-operate yung autoclave natin. No? Meron siyang required temperature wherein or meron siyang prescribed temperature, no, and at the same time, meron siyang tinatawag na indicator, no? Or meron siyang bacteria na indicator na nilalagay, no, para malaman natin na effective yung ating sterilization with the use of yung autoclaves natin. Okay? So, usually, no, yung sterilization process natin with the use of autoclave natin, mostly, no, gumagamit tayo ng 15 minutes, no, at 121 degrees Celsius, no? And merong iba na gumagamit sila ng for 2 minutes lang at 132 degrees Celsius, no? So those are some few, no? But then again, i-discuss natin ulit ito tomorrow, no? May idadagdag lang ako dito sa mga na-i-discuss natin today, no? And by the way, tomorrow we'll be having our practical. Di ba hindi pa tayo nakapag-practical, no? Yung smear preparation natin. And then, kindly prepare yung mga pinaprepare ko sa inyo, no? Yung mga improvised natin na mga gagamitin, like yung mga gelatin, no? Yung mga spring ng notebooks niyo or any kind na same as with yung spring ng notebooks niyo na pwede natin gamitin, no? For our succeeding activities, no? And yung mga petri dish niyo, as what I've mentioned nga, kung wala kayong petri dish, pwede na kayong gumamit ng mga, anong tawag dito, ng mga disposable na food containers, no? Pwede na yun siya, no? As long as transparent siya. Okay? Okay? Okay na siguro, kahit walang sumasagot. Okay. Okay. Masaya talaga online, matututo kang kausapin ang sarili mo. Diba? Natututo tayong kausapin ang sarili natin sa online. No? Siguro naman nagkakaintindihan kami ni self ko. Nagkakaintindihan kami ni self ko. Okay. Yes. Okay, that's what I mentioned nga, no, si autoclave, no? So, yun siya yung pinaka-common na ginagamit natin. And usually, no, medyo preparation natin, usually ginagamit natin autoclave as a form of sterilization, no? And there are some culture media na ino-autoclave natin sila prior natin sila i-dispense or prior natin sila ilagay sa petri dish natin, no? There are some media na kailangan natin muna silang ilagay sa tubes, no? Bago natin sila i-autoclave, no? So, meron tayong mga different method kung paano natin sila i-sterilize yung mga different culture media natin. So, usually, no, culture media is sterilized natin at 121 degrees Celsius temperature. No, at 15 LPE for 15 minutes, no? Usually, yun yung ginagamit natin for sterilization of yung mga blood culture media natin, no? So, like for example, sa blood culture media natin na big na ginagamit natin, most of the time naman na ginagamit natin for base for our culture media, and mostly mga institutions, culture media is yung na Nutri as their base for blood culture media. Sorry. Ano yun? Hindi ko na, wait. Ay, nawala. Ay, choppy na anak ko. My gosh, I'm so choppy again. Ayan, okay na. Okay na ulit? Or choppy pa rin? Ayan. Ay, choppy. Oh my gosh. I'm choppy indeed. Okay na daw. Okay. Noted. Okay. Balik tayo doon kay blood culture media, no? So, as what I've mentioned, no, sterilization of blood culture media, so meron tayong ginagamit na base medium. So, usually, no, during sterilization of blood culture media, no, hindi natin siya is-sterilize na nakalagay na yung blood, no? Kasi blood itself, no, later na natin siya ilalagay. Kasi kung isasama natin siya during sterilization, since gumagamit siya ng heat, no, magiging chocolate agar yan siya paglabas niya, no? Lutong-luto yung blood yung paglabas, no? That's why, no, during sterilization process, ang sinesterilize lang for blood culture media is yung base medium nila or yung tawag natin na basal medium, no? So usually this basal medium is na ginagamit usually is either MH or Wheeler-Hinton agar, or there are some na gumagamit sila ng nutrient agar. But then again, no, pinaka-common na ginagamit natin as basal medium for yung ating blood culture media is yung ating Wheeler-Hinton agar, no? So usually, no, mixed with blood, no, para makakuha tayo ng, usually this Wheeler-Hinton agar is minimix natin with blood, no, para makakuha tayo ng 5 to 10%, no, ng, or para magkaroon tayo ng concentration ng 5 to 10% ng blood culture media, no? So usually, it's about, like for example, in 500 cc or 500 ml of your basal media, dadagdagan lang natin siya ng 50 cc ng blood, no? Usually, no, dinadagdag siya during yung medyo warm na yung ating basal medium. So, huwag nyo siyang itagdag na mainit yung basal media natin or basal medium natin, no? Kasi nga, pag ganun, pag sobrang init na at kakalabas pa lang yan ng autoclave, may tendency siya na magiging chocolate agar yung inyong media. No? Hindi na siya magiging blood culture media. Okay? So, yun. So, usually, no, meron tayong mga different methods na kung paano natin usually pinopour yung different culture media natin. So, later on, no, gagawin natin yan and i-discuss natin yan, no? So, usually, no, si autoclave, usually ginagamit natin sila for sterilization of glasswares, no? sterilization of culture media, and there are some instances na ginagamit din natin siya to sterilize yung mga or to or para mamatay yung mga different microorganisms doon in our different culture media na gamit na, and at the same time no yung mga specimens natin na i-discard na natin. So usually no nilalagay yan siya ng autoclave no para prior natin sila i-discard no namatay na yung mga microorganisms and hindi tayo nakakapag-spread no different infection galing doon sa ating different microorganisms in our laboratory. Okay? So yun. And ano pa ba? So usually no yun lang no during autoclave or meron akong pinost dyan no tomorrow no i-discuss natin thorough discuss natin ito. May dadagdag lang ako dito sa mga na-discuss natin no sa post-lab discussion natin tomorrow. And then yun nga tomorrow we'll be having a practical quiz or practical exam with regards doon sa ating smear preparation. So kindly prepare your smear no lahat ng mga ginamit natin during smear preparation no during sputum direct smear preparation natin. Yun lang magiging activity natin tomorrow. And magkakaroon tayo ng post-lab discussion. And more or less, no, next week na natin gagawin yung ating media preparation. No? Paki-prepare na lang lahat ng mga gagamitin natin no, para magamit natin during media preparation natin. Okay? So, in a while, no, I'm going to unpublish yung ating activity number 6, which is yung ating autoclaving, no? Or the use of yung autoclave natin. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to show you kung paano siyang i-operate yung ating autoclave, no? Meron tayong different types of autoclave, no? Meron silang mga different manufacturers, no? Brands, but then again, same principle lang yan sila, and at the same time, same lang yan sila kung paano gamitin yung mga different autoclaves natin. No? Same principle lang yan sila. Okay? Is there any question before we end with, before you answer our activity and before we end with our laboratory activity for today? Is there any question? Hindi pa kayo naka-move on sa ating, ano tawag dito, sa ating bakasyon, sa mahaba-haba niyong bakasyon. Kailangan na naman nating i-restart or i-reboot ang ating mga self, no? Para bumalik na naman tayo sa katinuan natin. Okay na? Wala nang tanong? Wala na. How about yung iba? Okay, in a while, I'm going to unpublish yung activity number 6 natin. And then you may start, no? Answer yung ating activity number 6. And then kindly prepare yung mga lahat na gagamitin natin, no? For yung next activity natin, which is yung, yung media preparation natin, no? Kindly prepare yung mga gelatin natin dyan, no? Magkakaroon tayo ng kitchen laboratory next week. Then again, tomorrow we'll be having a practical and at the same time laboratory discussion with regards dito sa activity natin today. And then more or less magkakaroon tayo ng mga short quiz or short activity tomorrow. Okay? Wala na? May tanong pa? Na-miss niyo na mag-online? Oh, charot kayo dyan. Enjoying kayo sa life na walang pasok. Okay, so if wala nang tanong, no, you may start with our activity number 6 and then tomorrow, no, nakaroon tayo ng practical and at the same time, we'll be having a new topics, no, for our discussion tomorrow. Okay? That's all for today and have a good day everyone and stay safe. Okay, so bye everyone and see you all again tomorrow kung wala nang tanong. Bye!